What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Blues Nation video, and today we're just gonna be doing some fun stuff. So we're gonna look at the match we have going on tomorrow morning if you're in America, and tomorrow what would be around noon if you're in the UK against Newcastle. So really looking forward to this match. All we're gonna do today is we're gonna look at a little bit of statistics between the two sides. What's the form been like in the league, and what's also the form been like between the two sides against each other as of late. And then we're actually going to live build the squad together just to change it up, keep it fresh, and we're gonna do that at the end and then predict the score line. So let's go ahead and first hop into some statistics when it comes to Newcastle versus Chelsea. Okay, so first off, we're just on PremierLeague.com. This is a really convenient website I've found to kind of compare sides, especially when they're going up against each other on a match week. So we're just going to look at the statistics they have for this season so far. So first off, league position, Chelsea's in 4th, Newcastle's in 12th. They have 6 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses, while we have 8 wins, 4 draws, and 4 losses. So essentially just exchange 2 of our wins for 2 losses, and that's what their form has been. So you think about, this is a funny thing really when you start to think about Premier League, right? We have had many close matches this week, and if 2 of those became losses, all of a sudden we're in 12th and we're in the same narrative as Newcastle. But we haven't. We have not lost those games. So we're in the Champions League spots, we're competing, and regardless of the drama with Maresca right now, which I hope will just blow over, we're in 4th. We are, I know it's been a bit of a tumultuous couple weeks, but I think we're coming out of it fine. We're getting out of the injury crisis, except for Delap, who of course kind of re-entered that crisis. But there's a lot of good news, but it shows how fine the margins are, right? There's just a difference of really a couple balls bouncing different ways between us and Newcastle. So, but then let's look at some other things to show kind of the difference between the two sides. So as for goals in the season, we have 27 goals. They have 21. I don't really put a lot of stock in this average goals conceded or goals per match, because that's a huge rounding, and you'll see what I mean by that. But it looks like we're scoring double the goals per match than they are, but obviously that's not true because we've scored 6 more than they have, not 21 more. A better thing to look at here is XG, or XG per 90. So right, expected goals per 90, how many goals based off solid opportunities should the sides be scoring per match? And they should be scoring about 1.3 per match, whereas we should be scoring about 1.7. So that's where they get that rounding up to 2 and 1, because obviously you round 7 up to the even above and then 3 down to the even below, so you have 1 and 2. So, and then clean sheets, we have 8 to their 5. So bottom line, I'm actually pretty encouraged, right, as we should be, by those stats, because we are better in quite literally every single stat there. And of course, that's not all the stats that matter, but that is a lot of stats that matter. So if you're looking at numbers, right, we have performed better than Newcastle. Therefore, we should be predicted to come out of this with a positive result. Even though Newcastle's a solid team, and like I said, the margins are fine in the Premier League, we are still on the other side of the margins. And I think the win against Everton was a big one for confidence. And even though it was messy at times against Cardiff, Everton partnered with Cardiff. You have some positive results piling up, and I do think that'll continue this weekend. But then next, as for form, their form in the last 5 has been slightly better. They have 3 wins in 5. We have 2 wins in 5. We have 2 draws. They have 1 draw, and we both have a loss. Their loss is better than ours. I would say pretty clearly their form is better for sure than us. The draw, or the win against Burnley, is fine. The draw versus Arsenal, I would say, is quite solid. Loss and draw to Bournemouth, those are both bad results. They have a really good result against City. Pretty good result against Everton as well, because Everton's not the bottom feeder they have been in the past. And 4-1 is pretty dominant. Draw against Tottenham is not great as for now. Burnley's fine, and then lost to Sunderland. Sunderland's good this year, right? They're performing well. So I would say Newcastle still is in slightly better form. Imagine the narrative, not to mention imagine our place in the table Also, sorry, I'm apparently choking this morning, so pardon me. But imagine the difference of narrative if we had put away Leeds as we should have and put away Bournemouth as we should have. And then all of a sudden we have 1, 2, 3, 4 wins out of 5 and a draw against Arsenal. I think we'd be comfortably in second place. But if ifs and whats were coconuts, I'd have a marmalade by now, as I say. So, and then as for the history of the meeting, sorry for my choking. We've played 60 times. We have 31 wins to their 16, and there's 13 draws. And the last 5 meetings have been kind of spotty here and there, kind of trading wins and trading losses. We see that last in May, we're going most recent to least recent. Newcastle won 2-0, then we won 2-1, so we split it last year. And then we won 3-2 in March of the previous two campaigns ago. Then they washed us 4-1 in November 2023, and we drew in May 2023. So, again, really mixed results, which isn't a surprise because they have solid players. If you look at their squads here, they have Aaron Ramsdale and Nick Pope. Nick Pope's, I still think they're number one. Aaron Ramsdale has had a bit of an odd career, I'd say. Anyway, and then if you go down here, I think their best players are, Sven Botman's a very solid player, and they have some good wingbacks with Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento. Livramento unfortunately picked up another knee injury, so he's going to be out for at least a couple weeks. But their best part of the field is definitely the midfield with Joe Linton, Sandro Tonali, Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, Joe Willock, Bruno Guimaraes, Jacob Ramsey, right? Lewis Miley is a young player. Very, very promising young midfield and strong midfield. So that's definitely their area of strength. Whereas you could have said in past their area of strength was their forward group. After losing Isak, I'd say obviously they took a major hit. Voltemata is a promising player, but he's obviously not anything close to Isak as of now. Anthony Elanga's fine. Anthony Gordon can be really good, but also he doesn't actually produce the final product frequently. So anyway, that's a lot of their players. That's kind of some of the history between the two sides. Now let's go over and build the lineup. Okay, so no worries. I hit a fatty throat clear, and I think we're good now. So pardon my rasp town from the end of our last segment, but we should be good now. So a little bit different than sometimes we're going to build our lineup because I just think that'll be fun. So we're using the 4-2-3-1 formation as we have been using with those kind of two center of the field midfielders, kind of box to box type of thing, and then a 10 wingers and a number 9. So starting in the back starts off easy, right? You got Robert Sanchez. Doing this live makes you really self-conscious about your typing, let me tell you. And then I'm going to start with the center backs because I think that is what is nailed on. We have Wesley Fofana in the right center back position, and then we're going to throw Trev in the left center back position. Believe it or not, I think you have to consider, at least thus far, Trev is having I'm not saying he'll win it, I'm not saying he should necessarily, but he's having a candidate for player of the year for us type of performance this season so far. Just super solid day in, day out. Cucurella. Apparently we have 2 Cucurellas there. Left back. And then I did right back last because I think that's where it starts to get a little bit congested. And the reason for that is because I've actually quite liked what we've done with Malo Gusto and then Reece James both playing at the same time. But the thing is, and this is the biggest news of the game, right? The huge news for Chelsea fans and Newcastle fans, right, if you are looking at the potential to get a result in this match, is that Moises has finally served his 3-match ban. So he'll be back in this game tomorrow, which means that the midfield pairing of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo can return for the first time in a good number of matches, which will be really good to see because obviously we know Moises Caicedo is a cornerstone player for us. So I don't see how either Enzo or Moises drops out, so I think it's going to be Reece James on the right. I don't think you could drop him when he is healthy, and he is healthy, thank goodness. So that's going to be Moises Caicedo back, thank goodness. We obviously need him in there. just making such a difference. He wins so many 50-50 balls, even 40-60 balls not in his favor, and springs the attack so well. So I think he will obviously be playing. Enzo Fernandez back in his more comfortable role, because I don't think he belongs at number 10 position, because our boy Cole Palmer is back. He scored in the last match against Everton. Hopefully he can continue that form. And then right and left wing, if I'm being honest, I think right now those are fairly nailed on. Pedro Neto, you cannot disrespect the man. He produces so frequently for us right now, which, if you remember when we signed him, we said, oh, he works so hard, he creates so many good chances, but we need some more of that final product. Well, here we go. He's producing final product. And then on the left, Garnacho. I think he's also been really good this year as well. I've been very pleased with him. His mentality has seemed good. I haven't seen him pout very often, which I was a little bit worried about. And the other options there, right? Jamie Gittins, don't get over worried about him. I saw somebody post about this on Facebook. I believe his channel is Football Decoded, I think. And he was saying essentially, like, you can tell Jamie has all of the raw characteristics to be an amazing winger in the Premier League, and just give him time, right? That's why we get them when they're kind of at these still somewhat discounted prices when they're younger and whatnot, so they can grow into it. It would be kind of a faulty sense of understanding if we say, oh, let's both sign teenagers and 20-year-olds and then expect them to be good finished products right away. Like, that's not going to happen all the time. So I'm not worried, but he's definitely not the starter, obviously, right now. Garnacho has earned that. And I'm not sure if we've come out confirming whether or not Stevao will play this game. If you didn't catch, the reason he wasn't in the squad for the Cardiff game was because of muscle problem. I don't think they labeled it an injury, but kind of just a knock. I heard he wasn't going to be in for this match, but maybe that changed over the last couple of days. So we'll see. And then up top, we got Joao Pedro. We're going back to it because Liam Delap is hurt. And I love Martin Gue, but I don't think he's necessarily starting material right now, and he can give you a good 30 minutes off the bench. So that's my starting 11. What do you guys think about it? What would you change? I think there's a lot of goals in that side. I think there's a lot of creativity in that side, and I also think that's our strongest back four as of now, who have proved to be very solid together, especially Trev and Wes. So anyway, guys, let me know what you would change in this, and then let's go over and do our match prediction and call it a day. So nonetheless, Newcastle, right, is a very solid side, coached well, great midfield as we talked about, unproven but dangerous front, and I would say a little bit of a inconsistent back four right now. But what I would say is I think we're getting back into a sense of form. We're getting back to being healthy. We're getting closer to having our preferred 11. And we're a good team. I will continue to say that. If you, as a fan, fall into the trap of saying, I fully believe we're a solid team, I love our manager, and then we have a run of 2 or 3 bad results, and then you all of a sudden want the manager fired. You think we're a bad team. You think the whole process is messed up. You can't go back and forth that quickly. We're a good team. It's still reflected in our league table position. And I think we're going to win this game. I'm going to say 2-0. I think we're going to get a clean sheet with the back four we have, with Rob Sanchez, with his type of season. I believe it's going to happen. Wow. You guys have gotten to see me fight for my life today. But anyway, that'll do it for our video, guys. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Do you agree that we'll get the win? Do you think we'll win 2-0? Do you think we'll be comfortable? Do you think it'll be a draw? Do you think we'll... Hopefully you don't think, but maybe do you even think we could lose, which could be realistic? What do you guys think is going to happen from tomorrow? Leave your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys next time.